All right, welcome back. So we're going to work on this identity. Cotangent squared of x plus tangent squared of x equals secant squared cosecant squared minus 2. Okay, so now one of the things I want to sort of keep in mind is you're going to have to get used to the idea that sometimes you're going to have false starts on these things, okay? It's just, that's the nature of the beast. Okay, so I actually did have a couple of false start, or at least one false start on this. So I'm going to work through it now. So the false start I had was I was trying, and I did cotan squared of x plus 1 equals cosecant squared of x. And I started doing that with tan squared of x too. I thought that would maybe work, but that didn't get me, I mean, it was going to get me somewhere, but it was going to take longer than the actual way. So the actual way I'm going to do this is I'm going to say cotangent of x is cosine x over sine x, and tan x is sine x over cosine x. And maybe it won't be any faster. You'll see, we'll let you guys can try the other way if you want. Okay, so cosine squared of x over sine squared of x plus sine squared of x over cosine squared of x equals, we're going to go ahead and common denominator this thing. Actually, I'm not going to common denominator this thing. I got a better thing because now I'm doing it even better, third time around actually. So I'm going to actually say, let's take cosine squared of x equals 1 minus sine squared of x, and sine squared of x equals 1 minus cosine squared of x. Okay, and this is going to be in the numerators. Okay, so that means I'm going to get 1 minus sine squared of x over sine squared of x plus 1 minus cosine squared of x over cosine squared of x. So now I'm going to split these up, these and these. That's going to be, I get my 2 out. Okay, so I'm going to get 1 over sine squared of x plus 1 over cosine squared of x minus 2. Okay, let me just write that. So here I'm taking minus sine squared of x over sine squared of x minus cosine squared of x over cosine squared of x equals minus 2. And that's this and this. Okay, actually I should say this and this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put these over a common denominator. Okay, common denominator here is going to be sine squared of x cosine squared of x. Okay, so that's going to be cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x over my sine squared of x cosine squared of x minus 2. So now this is just going to be 1 over sine squared of x cosine squared of x minus 2. That's using, of course, cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x equals 1. And now that, let me give myself a little more space. So now that equals our final right-hand side. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at a problem similar to this on MyLabs Plus. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at number 3 here. We gotta verify this identity. This identity seems a little bit different, but we're gonna go ahead and go with it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the right-hand side, which says, I'm sorry, the left-hand side, which says secant squared of x cosecant of x equals. Now I'm going to go ahead and write secant squared as 1 over cosine squared times 1 over sine x. Okay, now I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to look and see, does that eliminate anything? A is gone. C is gone. Okay, I'm left with B and D. Just sort of, okay, just sort of keeping track. Next thing I'm going to do, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead, let's see, is there any sort of way I can split this up? Okay, well, multiplying, let me see here. The only way I can think of is I'm going to write cosine squared as secant squared, which I know secant squared of x equals 1 plus tan squared of x. I think that was probably a better way to have done it, but I was trying to follow what they did. So let's write this, let's just keep it. 1 over sine x times 1 plus tan squared of x. Okay, now tan is, remember, sine over cosine. So now that means we're going to have sine x over cosine squared x. Okay, so now if I look, I see D is gone because of this sine x is in the numerator. So I know B should be right, but let me just finish it off. Okay. That's cosecant of x plus, now sine x over cosine squared of x, I'm going to write it as sine x over cosine x, 1 over cosine x. So this is my tangent of x, and this is my secant of x. Okay? All right, I'll see you all in the next video.